I love New York City, and I think you should too. So this is everything I ate and saw over my way too short of a 72-hour trip earlier in the spring. This was my third trip and second time staying in Chelsea, which I found to be a super convenient home base. But next time I'd love to stay in the West Village, just considering how much time we spent there. Having arrived from Boston this afternoon, this travel day was short and tiring, but our first stop was obviously a good old slice of New York pizza, which we quickly went on to demolish before we headed to the Met to meet my friends. The Met was beautiful and it was huge, so I think we only managed to really scratch the surface of what was on offer. The museum have a ticketing system for locals, which is pay what you wish for yourself, and I think they can bring in guests as well. So you could say we were quite lucky to be visiting with some of our local friends. Mornings call for bagels, and I don't know how the rest of the world haven't caught on to this yet. We tried a different bagel spot every morning for the 3 days that we were here, and honestly, I would have had this for every meal if I had the chance. I am a matcha girl through and through, but we had to try this coffee spot called 787 for their uniquely infused coffee flavors. The staff here was so lovely and so engaging, and they really helped bring out the coffee snobs in us Aussies. The West Village has so many popular and viral spots that you may have heard of, so just strolling through the streets is such a pleasant experience, and you can truly never be too hungry here. We took a subway ride over to Williamsburg to see views of Manhattan from a different angle, and this did not disappoint. While I highly recommend walking, and you sure can rack up the steps walking around New York, the subway is free after 12 rides within a week, which we found was quite easy to hit. Another great tip we got from a friend was to seek out happy hours at nice bars, great food and drinks for a fraction of the cost. So if you are on a budget, that's the way to go. Because the weather was quite moody and gloomy, we filled this day with lots of good eats, people watching at Washington Square Park, and finally visited the Comedy Cellar, which is actually free to book in advance but has a 2-drink per person minimum order. I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on Comedy Cellar. They had such a good lineup of comedians, and I just feel like it's such a quintessential New York experience. The sun was out today, so you could just feel the energy shift. The streets were buzzing, the air was warm, but not too hot, so we were ready to spend as much time outside as possible. And if our 5 modes of transport was anything to go by, I think we did just that. We started off the day with a bagel, of course, and not too long after we were having amazing Thai food at Fish Cheeks. By this point, I had trained my stomach to bite off more than it could chew. I mean, back-to-back breakfast and lunch, you've got to be impressed. Top tip here is to make reservations as soon as possible, particularly for the more popular spots, because while there are a number of great places that do walk-ins, New York has no shortage of queues, so save yourself the time and book early. Once we were filled up, we were ready to take on the city by water, which was a clear highlight of the trip. And so, a wonderful 72 hours comes to an end. It was great to be able to sneak in a bucket list item, which was to go for a run around Central Park. It was one of the most beautiful runs I have ever done. With the sun rising, bringing out the greenery, and against the backdrop of skyscrapers, it was a super cool sight to run to. We obviously weren't going to leave without one last bagel to see us off, so we headed to Russ and Daughters, which was just a short walk away. All in all, it was really nice to be able to slow down in such a busy city. I hope this video was helpful if you're planning a trip to New York, or hopefully you're inspired to book one in now. And if you do, just know that I'm so jealous and I cannot wait to be back.